tell us about the last 2 weeks. Has it been a good 2 weeks and good thing to have that 2 week gap, or has it felt like a long time?
I must admit, the season, because of all the breaks, international breaks, etc., that goes on, you miss. I think last season, or the last few seasons at St Johnstone, I ended up, the teams that were in the semi-finals of the League Cup and the finals of the League Cup, we ended up playing them in those, or meant to be playing them in those weekends. So there was a lot of gaps in your season. I think it is difficult to deal with, but you do know it's coming, and you just plan for it, and that's what we did. We had a hard week last week, finishing off with a bounce game at Celtic, and then that gave us a really good free week now to prepare for Motherwell. The big positive from us in the 2 week period has been the fact that Ross County and Hamilton didn't take advantage of the game that they had in hand over us, and the points difference remains the same. So I know I was, and you're not always wanting teams or needing teams to do you a favour, but I was happy when 5 o'clock Saturday when they confirmed that those two had not been able to get any more of a gap on us. So that should give the players a little bit of a lift and get into what's a tough game again on Saturday.
I was watching your comments after the Ross County game, and you talked about that bounce game. You were looking ahead to it, and you said there may well be quite a few players who play themselves into your plans. Has that been the case?
Probably not as many as I was liked. I mean, bounce games are difficult to gauge. I mean, for example, it was totally an unofficial game. The Celtic kitman was refereeing it.
Was it any good?
Somebody said that they normally referee Celtic games, but I don't know if that's true or not. But and it's you're asking players, to get motivated up for a game in strange surroundings. But there was one or two that have given me food for thought, and there was one or two that maybe didn't do so well the week before that responded well as well. So it was a worthwhile exercise.
And Tommy, you look back in your coaching and management career, it's the best part of 20 years so far. And obviously so many challenges and good times. Where does the challenge of saving Kilmarnock at the moment rank in those that you've had throughout your managerial career?
I think I knew it was going to be tough when I took the job. I believe then I can, do enough to keep us in this league, and I still believe that. And the enormity of the job now, obviously with the position that we're in, is massive. And it would, if we can do it, and that is the aim, it will rank up with any of the achievements I've probably had in management stroke coaching, since I've started.
Tommy, you said you knew it was going to be tough when you took over. Do you feel it's maybe been tougher than you thought it would be?
Probably, yeah. That would be a fair assumption, because in the games we haven't one, done maybe enough over 90 minutes, but two, made basic errors which have cost us, and made mistakes maybe that I don't see Monday to Friday, just lapses of concentration. The training has been of high quality every day. I've never come away thinking, oh, they could do that better. I mean, they've really trained really well, but what we've not been able to do is get over the line and defend at right moments in games when we have to, and take advantage of the amount of possession we've had in games, because we've dominated possession in all the games bar the Rangers game. So the fact that we haven't won since I've taken over obviously makes it, harder than what it was when I did take over because of less games now.
Is the key just trying to swing those fine margins in your favour going forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, and it might be a fluky goal. It might be a decision goes your way. It might be a one moment of brilliance. Because overall, the performances have been, I believe, better than and got better each game. We had that 5 minute of madness at Ross County at the start of the second half, but in general, we've played decent football, but not had that killer instinct in the final third.
Tommy, have you got Dikamona back for this
Yeah,
weekend?
he's trained. He played 45 last week. Injuries, Greg's obviously still out. The good thing is, with the breaks that we've touched on, this could possibly be the only league game he misses. In fact, it probably will be the only league game he misses. And he could be fit for the Cup, which obviously comes after the international break. And Ross Millen is suspended, but Dickamona's trained, and he's trained now for 2 weeks. So he's available.
Having him back, and obviously we spoke to Callum Waters as well earlier. Having that experience back at the back, could that be very useful going into these?
Yeah, it could be, but I do feel that when we played three at the back with Millen, Broadfoot and Medley, that we did well, and Broadfoot and Medley have done well as a two as well. Medley's done really well. So the thing is, go with Ross going out in terms of suspension and missing 2 games. It's good that I've got another defender that I can rely on.
Obviously, we've seen in the short time that Kyle Lafley's been with you, that what he can bring for you. Is it about trying to get him chances as much as you can? I mean, the last couple of home games you've had a lot of possession balls into the ball.
I mean, listen, I'm the first to admit possession doesn't win you football matches, and because if it was just down to possession, we would have probably had 3-4 wins. So I'm always aware of that. Sometimes it's the type of possession, the areas you get in, but we've got into really good areas, and if we can keep getting into good areas and get the supply to Kyle, I think he'll score more goals. He has been a lift to the strikers, the other strikers, when they do finishing sessions with him. He's brought the standard up and helped them. He's an absolute nightmare to manage on a daily basis. But I think everybody knows that with Kyle. You can't turn your back on him for 1 second, that he's up to something. But and that's a good thing, because he's not that confidence was low, but he's added another wee edge and another to the spirit of the camp.
Is that something you really need at a time like this, when the league position?
I mean, the position is what it is. We know what it is. It's not, we're not having. Nobody's mentioned, the fact that we're in last place. We know we're in last place. We're not having crisis meetings left, right, and centre. We're working hard in the training pitch, being positive around the place, a positive on the training pitch, and hopefully that can give them that little bit extra to go and win a football match. And sometimes I say it can be a little bit of luck or a bit of magic, refereeing decision. You just probably need to get that next win, and I think that would give us the confidence to go on and put a little run together.
Tommy, is there anything you've tried in this last 2 weeks that is new in terms of, you've got your experience and you can rely on so much good knowledge and experience from the past, but is there any technique or thing you've read or something that you've thought, I'm just going to try this leading up to the Motherwell game and see what happens?
No, not really. I mean, I always analyse what I do and be self-critical of what I do after a game. I've always done that. I'm my own biggest critic, so I think when you're in a situation like this, you just have to be as positive you can around the players, giving them confidence. Things that we're doing now, we would do normally anyway. Showing them individual footage of good play that they're doing, and but everybody would be doing that normally. In the old, I've played in teams that managers used to. It would be a fish and chip day on a Wednesday, and it would be a boozy session after it, and it would be the old motto of socialise together and drink together and play well together. You play well together, and I've seen managers turn their seasons around on the back of going out for a piss up. But that's not something that would be in my repertoire, not something that I would do. But I just believe that if you work hard with the players and you give them as much self-belief as possible, that you can turn things around.
And finally from me, Tommy, Greg Kiltie, he's still just hoping that it's just one game he's missing. You might have mentioned that earlier, but
I think it will be. I think, again, that's sometimes it works in your favour with the timing of international breaks. His 4-week, which he's making good progress, I think will be right on for the cup game. So he could actually make the cup game. And on that basis, I'm confident that unless he gets a major setback, which we will be doing everything by the book with him, so that the likelihood of that happening will be slim. He will only miss this game in the league.